Divine greetings and gratitude, my Saiyonan tribe, my Saiyonan circle, my Saiyonan coven. How are you doing and how are you feeling? I wanted to go. Oh, okay. Cards already speaking. We have the Justice card coming up in reverse here. I wanted to come on, of course, and do a reading for you. I'm also going to be doing some other things. I see something here. Immediately, we're getting a lot. We're getting swords cards that are coming out first. My goodness, we have the Two of Swords. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Okay. This is kind of wild because, wow. Okay, so immediately, it's so interesting because I really wanted to start off with prayer. And I usually obviously set the intention that things are what they need to be and that we receive the messages that we need. Well, that you receive the messages that you need. And before I could fully get into that, they just started just coming out. The first card to show itself was a Justice card in reverse. Second card, Ace of Swords. Third card, Two of Swords. Fourth card, Queen of Cups in reverse. And then the last card here is the Hermit. That's the first thread. And then someone feels like emotionally overwhelmed. That was the card that I saw. Someone feels emotionally overwhelmed, and I'm being drawn to the Sage bundle that's over here. I'm being drawn to the Sage bundle, and I'm being drawn to the Sage bundle, I feel like, because Sage helps to wipe out and completely wipe out energy. And this is something that you would use before you get into your car, after you come back home from being at the store. This is something that you would use before and after ceremony. This is something you would use when you're communicating with your ancestors, depending on who your ancestors are, actually. I know here, my ancestors, I found, have come from America. So we use Sage. And I use Sage for connecting with them and whatnot. But I also use Sage to clear out energy, cleanse my space when the energy is stuck and it's stagnant. Sage is used for spiritual hygiene and things like that. But I also just heard that Sage can also be used to help you clear things on a mental level, of course. Okay. As I say that, you have the Chariot card here coming up. So, wow. Okay. So I set the intention that you receive what you need from this message and that you reserve what is not yours for somebody else in the group. I know that with group messages, because there's not a whole bunch of people that are here right now, at least at this time, right? It's going to expand over time. We just have to give it time. I know that it can feel very personal, which makes sense because we're all a part of a coven, right? Like we're all a part of this Saiyonan circle. So of course the messages are going to be specifically for this group. They're not going to resonate with the vast majority of YouTube, right? So what I'm getting real quick is that it's something that's trying, or someone is trying to figure out, which direction do I go in? How do I figure this one out? Like, I'm having a hard time figuring this one out. I'm stuck between feelings and what the overall truth is, and I'm having trouble figuring out which way to go because I don't know it. It feels very complicated, right? This feels like energy that is extremely complicated, especially because we have the Hermit card here sitting above this Seven of Cups in reverse. This is bringing up a past situation, and I feel like it's this unresolved past situation energy that's bleeding into the current situation, and that's what's causing the energy to be very, not reluctant, which reluctant was the word that came through, but that's what's causing the energy to kind of not move, right? That's what's causing the confusion. That's what's causing the frustration, because there's something that happened in the past that was unresolved. And because of that, it's harder for things to be evened out. And I feel like the only way for someone to get through this time that they're having at the moment is to revisit this past and see where and what happened with this Queen of Cups in reverse here. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups in reverse over the 5 or the 6 of Cups in reverse, this is bringing me to an energy that feels like it was something that they feel like they were either wronged or they weren't properly cared for. And it almost kind of feels like, okay, this hermit is like, okay, but like why? Like why is this queen feeling this way? When someone has mastered so much, what makes them kind of snap? Or like when someone has mastered so much of themselves and their life, what makes them kind of like, what makes them just go back and revert to old patterns? Like what makes them feel like they have to respond in like a certain way? You have to ask yourself, what is it that happened to them? Because this does not happen just overnight. This was not energy that happened overnight. This was energy that was bleeding and happening for a very long time. And the word was patient. It's like this energy was once patient, but now the energy is not patient, because it feels like, okay, I feel very moody. I feel very irritated. I feel like I'm not being seen properly. I feel like I'm being overlooked. I feel like no one's getting it. I feel like it's like a whole bunch of I feels. And sometimes the I feels can eliminate, or not even eliminate, but it can cloud what the whole truth is. And that's the reason why this moon card in reverse is sitting underneath this Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is like, look, I get the fact that you feel this way, but this is the overall truth. And sometimes with this truth, you're going to have to remember and realize that you have to allow the energy to be what it is, and you have to just be what you are. And sometimes that comes with a sacrifice. The harsh truth is that this is how you feel because this is how you perceive it. But the truth is that you have to do this. And whatever this means, it could be you thinking from a higher perspective. It could be you moving away from the feelings themselves for a moment to reassess. This is one of those things where I really do feel truly, and I'm an advocate for you sitting with your feelings and feeling those without you having to overly communicate the process. I'm all about that. I'm an advocate for that. But at the same time, I feel like despite my advocacy, Spirit is like, I need you to separate your feelings from the objective truth. And this is what the objective truth is, because the more that you keep allowing yourself to be in this emotional state, you're not going to get anywhere, and it's going to be harder. And I'm also hearing with the Chariot card here, the Chariot card is telling you not to second guess anything. The Chariot card is here to let you know that there is nothing to second guess. You don't need to do that. I just heard your reaction is your reaction. Like however you reacted to it, it was probably warranted. But at the same time, you still want to think about how you're reacting and why you're reacting. And if you want to be reacting at all. I just heard the words pull back. You may want to pull back from something for a second. And the reason why you may want to do that is because you don't want to worsen the situation. Like whatever the situation is, your guys are not wanting you to overcompensate for that. It's so interesting because you have the High Priestess here. Exactly. You have High Priestess, discernment, prescience, prophecy, vision. You have the High Priestess here. And it makes sense that you have the High Priestess because the High Priestess understands things and perceives things beyond logic, which is so funny because it perceives things beyond logic. But the fact that you do have the Ace of Swords here, this is the overall truth. And it's not even really just about logic. It's about your thought process, how you process that information, what information you're processing, and you filtering out the truth. I feel filtering out the truth from the illusion. I feel like with the Ace of Swords here, it's coming up as chicory root. You may want to work with chicory because chicory does help you to break up blockages and remove blockages. Now, as far as purging is concerned, I know that I like to use burdock root, but as far as breaking up the energy, definitely want to work with chicory. Chicory is that swordsy kind of vibe that I get, the swordsy kind of energy that I get when working with it. Like little swords, pins and needles, but swords for the most part. I see you getting through this situation. by not forcing it, by revisiting the past and having that uncomfortable conversation. And if the conversation was already had, then it's one of those things where the energies are going to have to work themselves out without you trying to control it. Look at that power and strength. I feel like your power and your strength here is coming from your intuitive senses, and your power and your strength is coming from your ability to discern. Like, that's where the power is coming from. Wow, you cannot make this up. The card that I just pulled from right here is truth. Literally truth. You cannot make this up at all. You can't. Wow. Okay. That's so interesting. So basically that's what you have. I feel like, wow. And then you have the owl, deception and wisdom. I'm seeing something else here. I'm seeing that with this owl here, oh my goodness, someone's probably playing the victim right now. I feel like someone's like playing the victim, and I feel like it's not, so it's complicated, right? So the hermit here is like, okay, this is the complicated one, because I see what you're doing, but the question is, why are you doing this? I feel like there's a fear here. Spirit, what is the fear? What is the fear? There's a fear. I just heard the fear of losing partnership or like losing friendship. Whoa. Wow. Look at that. You cannot be serious. You cannot be for real. You have the high priestess, and then you have the cups, the 3 of cups. Exactly like I said. That's interesting. It's just fear. Like, I feel like there's a fear of like losing friendship, or a fear of like losing a partner, or a fear of losing something or someone. I just heard the word like abandonment. And so they feel like they play this role. Wow. Look at that. You have the 9 of Wands with the 4 of Swords. That energy in itself is also kind of like, all right, I feel like I have to block this energy out because there's something within me. It's like I can't rest. Like there's this pull. Like I feel like I have to keep doing and doing and doing, and I have to protect myself. I feel afraid of something. And I just feel like I'm afraid. Like I feel like there's a fear. And I truly believe that with this fear, it almost kind of feels like I don't want to lose my friendships. And so I say things like, well, I'm trying, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. It's like you can make and say whatever you're going to say. At the same time, what Spirit is letting you know is that you're not going to lose this energy. The way that you will lose it, though, is by not being honest. And so Spirit is saying, is like, I need you to call out the truth. I need you to tell the truth, because whoever this person is dealing with, this could be someone, interacting with you, or this could be you interacting with somebody else. They see through it, and you have to understand that. They see through it. You see through it, right? So with that knowing, that seeing beyond the ordinary here, because you have the High Priestess twice. Exactly. You have the High Priestess twice. So being that you have the High Priestess twice, it's one of those things where, and it's coming from 2 different decks. So this is letting me know that they're wanting you to operate from that space. Your guides are like, I need you to operate from this space because you've been through this before. Sometimes that comes with a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is you being fully understood, you reacting. Like you have to understand that your role, right? The things that you are here to do, your path is requiring you to have a specific walk. And if you are constantly reacting, you're not allowing yourself to operate within the High Priestess energy. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you are, working your magic by way of using herbs and the occult and magic and mysticism and things like that. It doesn't have to be that way. Let's just say, for example, if you're someone that is not into that at all, like you're listening to this message and you're like, all right, I'm not into that. but you are, and maybe you don't even call yourself a seer. Perhaps maybe you're someone that just has a gift of knowing, and maybe you don't call it a gift. Maybe you're someone that's just like, well, this is just human. This is just a condition of being human, that we just know things. Well, you have to operate from that knowingness. Then it's you being receptive and you saying, I see through what you're doing and I'm choosing to do something else. Or somebody else sees what you're doing and they're like, I'm choosing this because at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep going and doing this knowing where it's going to lead. Does that make sense? So I feel like in this sense, this Hermit card is seen, and it's so funny because you would think that the Hermit card is very quiet right now. The Hermit is like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking and listening. I'm being the observer. And with being the observer, it's like, well, according to my assessment, I see, I feel, I see, I know, and I heal. So I feel like with this Virgo energy here, Virgo was taking a step back and listening and being quiet because, and I don't know why it's well, yeah, obviously it would be Virgo because this card is ruled by Virgo. But at the end of the day, it's almost like I see what the truth is, and I know that it's a matter of time before that truth reveals itself. I just heard within 24 hours, like within 24 hours, this truth will be revealed within 24 hours. Within 24 hours. Okay, let me see what we get from this deck. But I do see the truth being revealed within like 24 hours. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you can't make up this kind of energy at all. Your guides are asking you to operate from the High Priestess space. That is so effing crazy. That is so effing crazy. You have the High Priestess of Fire right here. So you're getting High Priestess energy a lot. So this is the energy of Priestess energy. The Priestess energy sees. The Priestess energy sees without saying. But when it's fire, it becomes active. It becomes this energy where it's like, I see, therefore I will act. And I will make a bold move when I feel like I'm being led to. And that's just what it is. What is this? Understanding. I like to say understanding because you don't understand, right? You don't stand under anybody. So I like to say understanding, depending on the situation. But yes, understanding is here. Success. Okay, you have success here as well. And then one more card. Oh my goodness. And then you have trapped. Okay. So I feel like with these last few cards coming out here, should I move this? I should. Let me move this real quick. All right. So we're pushing 20 minutes. We got to get ready to get off of here. Also, by the way, y'all, I heard that I know you guys are going to be like, seriously, Nuna, can we like not keep these on YouTube? I know. But I'm hearing to put this on YouTube, let people like listen to it. And then what I'm going to end up doing is making it private. And I say that because when I make it private or at least unlisted, when people come onto the website, they'll be able to listen to the reading, if that makes sense. Like more people will. This kind of gives them the, what am I trying to say? This kind of gives them the inside scoop on what the readings sound like. That way we can gather more people. So that's the reason why Spirit is telling me to do it this way. But anyway, okay, the lighting is a bit better now. It was too much of a glare. So basically, yes, I feel like with the energies that you have here, yeah, I would 100% say that the success truly is going to come from, right, in this situation, it's going to come from you operating again from the High Priestess standpoint. Like there's something about you operating from that space. I feel like I'm going to go into another video one of these days. I'm going to jot that idea down about Priestess energy and going into the symbolism of the High Priestess card. I think I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite actually. And I feel like I may or may not do I may or may not do videos here on YouTube going into the symbolism of the cards. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet. Let me know down in the comment section if that's what you would like to do or like to see from me. Let me know and I will start to make that happen and whatnot. And Yeah, it's going to be a long time on YouTube because we got a lot of information to cover, different subjects, but that's neither here nor there. And that's another thing. Spirit is wanting you to incorporate everything that you know. Like they want you to start incorporating that. That's what the success is going to come from. Okay. That's what they're letting you know right now. So I want you to remember that you are called to separate your emotional feelings, the illusion from, well, I'm not saying that your emotions are the illusion, because your emotions actually give you a lot of information, or it's like information in motion, right? What I'm saying is that they're wanting you to separate what you subjectively feel and welcome in the overall truth. And you do that by allowing yourself to embody the high priestess energy, because your intuition is going to always lead you to the right reason. Your intuition will always lead you to the right reasoning. And I feel like it's not the other way around. Your logic doesn't lead you to intuition. Your intuition leads you to the correct logic, to the correct rational thinking, right? And I just heard filter out some thoughts. Like you want to filter out some things, okay? I do see here that you will gain more clarity and understanding when you operate from that divine knowing. And I feel like it's a fire, you'll feel it. It's deep. It's a deep fire, it's a deep resonance. I'm going to read off to you High Priestess of Fire, okay? I've only got about 2 minutes left before this memory card runs out. Oh, this is number 8. Oh no, number 5. I'm sorry. Okay, number 5. High Priestess of Fire. We have, my child, you may have chosen the symbol of the vampire high priestess of fire, the goddess of creativity and passion. Love that. Whenever she arrives, she reminds you of your ability to create your own reality and to choose how you channel your energy. If you are restless, call upon the high priestess of fire for inspiration and joy, and she will release you from the trap of boredom. Wow. Fire brings warmth and light, but it also burns when it is allowed to get out of control. Spend your energy creatively, not impulsively, and guard yourself against burning out. Use your fire wisely and let your light shine brightly. This sounds a lot like you not overreacting. Okay, let's not overreact. Let's channel that energy in ways that we do need. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. If you need anything from me, you can find every single link that you would need down below in the description box, as well as the comment section. I'm so glad that we spent time here today. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe, because I'm going to be giving you a lot more videos. I would love for you to join the Saiyonan Circle. Links to that will be down in the description box and also in the bio. I love you. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next video.